So let's see if she could do a little bit better this round than she did in the previous round. In the previous round, she got half a buoy on 12 meters.
Let's see what she's got for us, Tony. Nice looking opening pass here, 28 off. Just feeling it out. Like I said, a half buoy at 35. Probably not super excited about that. Wants to push it a little bit further down, especially with some of the competition here to come. Nice looking opening pass. The wind's kind of laid down here a bit, Tony. I know I was watching the webcast on the way out this morning, and I know it was kind of picking up, and some skiers were really deciding what to do, being that headwind off the dock. But now it's kind of calmed down a little bit, and that opens the door maybe to take a little different strategy on what pass you're going to start at, if there's any opt-ups in there, stuff like that.
All right, and our webcast brought to you in glorious HD, 1080p on your big screen TV. Taking a look at dockside right now. Our next skier about to take to the water, I believe, is going to be...
Where's that course again? This is going to be Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse Duberton. Anna Gay is a scratch. So let's take a look.
Right, 32 off coming back. Like we said, Tony, not much wind out there really to contend with. This should be a pretty... easy pass. Get a little bobbled up there at 4, back in it at 5. Still a little bit early, but she wants to kind of work those kinks out, feel it out a little bit. Get settled in here for a nice start, hopefully at one ball there at 35, coming back down the lake and get herself a little further down that course.
We'll see how she gets along. Let me get the file to you first.
All righty. Coming back, we got shortening the rope down for Natasha down there. Going to be coming back at 12 meters. Had a half buoy the first round. I know she wants to definitely push it further down the lake this time. She has the opportunity going off first, so it's really she's setting the score to beat for this round 2 for this Open Women's Division.
All right, here we go. Natasha Rasha. This is the 12 meters, or a little bit of a slide off buoy number 1, but she's better this round than she was in round number 1. Wow, look at this. We could be in record-setting territory here, the Namibian slalom record, but unfortunately unable to make a play on number 6. The Namibian slalom record is actually 2, I believe, at 38 off. But a good effort, certainly better than a few hours ago. And what do you see there, Zach?
She got a good-looking start there at one ball. A little bit slow out of the finish there, and then out of 3 here, gets a little hicked up and kind of bent over at the waist coming into 4. And just that ski kind of released a little bit narrow and started playing catch-up. And unfortunately, started catching up with her 4 and in the 5 there, and going to end up going inside 6. But like we said, Tony, a much better performance than we saw this morning with a half at 35, getting all the way down just inside 6 ball there. So I think she'll be a little bit happy with that. A few buoys off that record back home, but regardless, it's still a nice performance. 5 buoys at 12 meters.
So I'm sure she'll be a happy camper, making her way back to the dock. That is Natasha Rasha, and Jessie Duberton is our next competitor to go. Actually, the next competitor would have been Anna Gay, but unfortunately she decided to not to compete in this round. I'm not too sure why. Maybe you have a reason for that.
I think she had a little off-the-water incident. Need to make a quick little trip to the to the urgent care real quick, but she's going to be all right. Get some things sorted out. Unfortunately, not going to see her competing here in the second round, but wish you well, Anna. And more importantly, next on the water, we'll have Jessie.
Yeah, we certainly wish her the very, very best of luck and good fortune along the way, Anna Gay. But let's focus our attention to Jessie Duberton. So there we go, Becky Lathrop at the helm of that towboat.
Becky's always been one of my favorite drivers to have during tournaments, and growing up in skiing tournaments down south in West Palm, Becky was always a very familiar face to have in the boat, and always nice to drop down the end of the lake after a slalom pass and have a nice smile on your boat driver, and Becky's definitely guaranteed for that. So here we go, Jessie coming in, starting off at 28 off as well. Like we'll see a majority of these first group of girls going big two ball there, kind of testing out that ski, testing out the radar, see what it can do. Getting lined up, testing the waters for what's going to be, 32, 35, hopefully getting into 38. She, too, had that half buoy score at 35 off from round number 1. We're going to need a little bit bigger score than that if she wants to kind of push her way up into that running order, but capable of it for sure, especially if she keeps having two balls like this.
All right, so getting ready for the next pass and just taking a look at our audience competition statistics. Nearly 1,500 of you submitted entries. They want that. They want the ski. They want either that D3 or that Connolly with the exclusive signature on them. It's one of a kind.
Yeah, what a turnout. Just shy of 1,500 entries submitted there. I definitely see some familiar names on some voting here. I don't want to give too much away, but I like some of your picks. I see some dark horses in there, so we'll see how it all shakes out towards later in round 2.
All right, let's have a look and see. Jessie Duberton at 13 meters, started in on 14.
Nice, strong-looking pass from Jessie on 13 meters there. She looks dialed in. She's got a nice tight line the whole time. I love the power she has after the finish of the turn. She gets locked in and loaded nice and early, and a lot of times you see skiers kind of adjust their intensity of their passes as they're going through. And what I like about Jessie is she's getting intense right from the very beginning, and that'll pay dividends once she gets down to 35, 38 off.
Right, you are, and Jessie Duberton has competed in a fair share of Swiss Pro Slalom events, so has been pretty much a regular. Always enjoys coming down here, and
all right. Okay, well. We had a half buoy for Jessie at 35, round number 1, so she definitely wants to improve on that. That was a great-looking 13-meter pass, and if she can ski that 12-meter coming back with that aggressiveness and get a good start here, I don't see any reason she shouldn't be able to get through all 6. Here we go, nice wide pull out for that gate here. Needs to get a good one. Strong, powerful-looking one, early over 2. Little hiccup at 2, needs a big 3 to make up. She gets it there. Waiting on 4, ski around 5, and looking much better than round number 1. We had a half at 35. Getting all the way through 35 there. That was a clean looking pass, Tony, and like we said, she was nice and aggressive from the very start. And man, I was impressive skiing, and if she runs, gets a good one ball here at 38, I could easily see her getting well into 38 with that powerful stance behind the boat.
Yeah, I think she definitely got the bit in her teeth this time around, determined to make amends for the error that cost her the pass of 12 meters or a 35 off in round number 1. So we'll see what she's got, and let's get with Wade.
here with Natasha. So, bigger smile than the first round, huh?
Yeah, bigger smile. Was hoping to make that pass, but it's better than the first round, so I can't complain.
Yeah, good deal. And as we talked earlier, you live here now, so kind of nerve-wracking. Your dad's sitting there. You got family here, right?
I got a lot of support, which is always nice to have, and skiing at the home lake is always great. I mean, the conditions were good, calmed down, so I'm happy with that.
Well, good for you. Great skiing. Back to you, Tony.
All right, thank you very much indeed. Here comes Jessie Duberton. Oh, and looks like a 2-buoy count is going to go her way.
Let's go back and watch this replay, Tony, see what happened down there. Big looking gate there in number 1. I'm wondering if it bit off a little more shoe. Kind of came in a little bit narrow, lost that line out of 1. And, I think that that intensity level that we saw earlier at 35, it snuck up on her a little too much out of that gate and just took a really aggressive gate line, got off the handle pretty quick, and gave that rope back to the boat, and just not able to have a tight line and get that powerful finish out of 1 like she did at 35 off. And, at 38, you're only going to be able to get another buoy or 2 down the rope at that rate.
Indeed, indeed. All right, so she got 1 at 38 in the round previous to this, so 2 at 38. It's very consistent skiing, I guess. Next skier to take to water will be Paige Rini. And then after her, it's a stepmom.
Hey, good skiing.
All righty, Paige coming in. Opting to come in at 13 meters here, 32 off. Our first 2 competitors starting at 28 off. 32, I'd be giving her, a 38 headwind going down the lake. Of what wind's left, I still, looking across over here at Swiss Fairways, I can see the flagpole. A little bit of wind down here at this far end, but we're pretty well protected. Setting herself up for, a nice 38 head and hopefully getting through that 38 and then piece of 39.
All right. Looking very, very smooth on that new addition, that new radar slalom ski that they're putting the finishing touches on. And let's check in with Wade as we see the tail end of Paige's pass.
Hi, we're here with Louisa, getting ready for her second round. So 4 at 38 the first round. What are we looking for you this round?
Well, hopefully I can get into 39 this round, run 38, and then just see what happens.
It's a nice day. The wind's calmed down a little bit now, huh? You ready?
Yeah, it's amazing conditions right now, so I'm very excited to ski.
Awesome. Tear it up out there, girl. Back to you, Tony.
Thank you very much. And back into the course. Paige Rini. Oh, look at this. Not looking too bad. Going cross course. Really hammering these turns. And it's a 6-buoy count.
Got Dad down there. Mr. Matt watching from the dock. Good looking pass from Paige there. Got off started a little bit hesitant on 135 there. You'll see kind of one ball just off the handle a little quicker, kind of sitting on the tail end of the ski, and then here she went over to 4 and then had a nice big clean 5 ball. And I know that's essentially what she wants to start with. One ball just starting a little bit narrow, kind of hesitant a little bit, and you can get away with it at 35, but when you're getting down into 38 and 39, you can't really afford to kind of hesitate and take a relaxed approach at it. So I expect to see a little bit more aggression here coming into one ball for Paige on pass number 3.
All right, Whitney getting limbered up there before she takes to the water. Could she be your pick for skier of the day competition? Go to SwissProSlalom.com and submit your vote to who you think is the skier of the day, kind of like MVP.
All right, well, Paige coming in 38 off. She had a score of 1 the first round. Let's see if she get a nice aggressive start. She does. Gets that ski back in the water. A little bit out at 2, but early to 3. Needs a big 3 ball pushed up a little bit there. And that ski just unfortunately not able to hold in on 4 ball there. I like the one she got, Tony. It looked like a nice start to 1 ball there. And 2 ball, that ski really whipped around a little quicker. I think she anticipated the line wasn't quite there and got her broke over at the waist. But big 1 ball there. You'll see here just a little bit out of shape, and it's tough to kind of keep that angle going into 3. And at that point, you're really trying to play catch up the rest of the way. It's tough to do that at 38.
Okay, so that is going to be 3.5 at 38, 3 1/2 at 38 off. It's an improvement, but really her chances of making it through to the next round have been dealt a blow as a result of that performance, because there are quite a few competitors. In fact, the top 4 competitors after round 1, each of them's produced a score into 39.5 off. Water.
Alpha 2. And I'll go 13 this time.
All right, Tony. Well, next on the water, a familiar face to the pro women's slalom events, but usually don't see her this early off in the competition, mainly because Whitney's usually training quite a bit, and but recently just had her first child, and so excited to see Whitney back out in the water competition, and I know she wishes that she's hoping to push down, but I think she's more excited just to be out here skiing in her first competition back from, giving birth not too long ago. So happy to see Whitney out here, and let's see what she's got for us today.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Whitney Rini, who scored a second place finish last year via that runoff in the women's final. But I'll tell you what, her being out in the water this soon after having a baby, man alive, it beggars belief.
That's impressive for sure. But, that's vintage Whitney out there. Looks strong. Got that big wave on 2-4. So that's Whitney. I can tell. She looks good out there.
Hasn't lost any of her technique even during that maternity break. And that long break that most of us have had because of the pandemic and COVID-19, if pretty good timing, I would say.
Yeah, if you were going to pick a year to take some time off and get your family going, this was a good year to do it for, not having to miss out on too many tournaments and, hopefully get this all cleared up so next year we can hit it with a full head of steam. And Whitney by then will be back locked and loaded into peak skiing form. And so, but it's good to see her out here, and it's nice that we're able to kind of catch up and have these last little string of events towards the end of the year.
All right, you are. We've got Whitney Rini. This now is 12 meters. She started it on 13. So looking grand.
All right.
And we're seeing our UAV shot there with Whitney McClintock getting through 12 meters in very, very short order. Let's see if she can get through 11.25. How you doing, sweetheart?
All right, 35 off there for Whitney. A year ago that would be a walk in the park. I'm sure it's a little bit harder, but it's back to basics for her. Still good looking style, super strong behind the boat, nice proud chest, something that Whitney's always been known for. Can get aggressive when she needs to, but that was a nice, pretty 35 off. And let's see what she could do here at 38. She had a 1.5 in round number 1. She's capable of 1.5, 2 at 41. So definitely some big scores from Whitney in the past, but I'm just happy to be out here. And I'd love to see her get through this 38 and kind of get back to those old ways, so to speak. But
all right, then, for those of you that are watching in and wanting to enter the audience prize competition, well, that competition is closed, I'm afraid. It closed about 15 minutes ago at the start of the round 2. Certainly gave you plenty of notice to get your entry in. And there we go. There's Whitney. Oh, 11.25 meters, and just didn't look in rhythm right from the start.
Yeah, I got a little in the back seat out of 1 there. Got a little bit in the back seat out of 1 there, and then 2 being her offside turn. It was a decent 2 ball, but just kind of got started off, and usually Whitney's able to fight back into those ones, but 2 here at a little bit bent over, lost that angle coming into 3, and that sets her up narrow for 3 ball. And she needed a big 3 here. She tried to get it, and just a little bit too far in the back seat there. 3's all she wrote for Whitney on pass number 3.
Well, it's a buoy and a half more than she did in the opening round, so baby steps, as one would say.
There you go. The glass is half full, Tony. The glass is half full.
I thought you would have caught on to a little bit with that one, with that expression, baby steps.
Oh, I see what you did there. Nice pun.
There we go.
Ah, see. All right, I'm getting warmed up.
I do actually remember a while ago, and this was an article that was actually published in Water Ski Magazine or Spray Magazine, that one of our good friends who's actually officiating under the tent actually wrote a pretty good article about skiing and training while pregnant, as a matter of fact. When she was pregnant with Tara back in the day. I remember that quite well, as a matter of fact.
Well, I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't really read that article.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
But I do remember the article, Cindy, and it was very well written.
All right, Tony. Nice performance there from Whitney, 3 at 38. Next on the dock, we have Miss Alex Garcia. Alex, a student at University of Alabama, freshman this year. So I know she's been excited to ski a little bit collegiate skiing. And for the first time, I think maybe 3 weeks ago, ran that 38 off for the first time, getting into 39. So really starting to solidify herself as a force to be reckoned with on the slalom course.
And her entire wardrobe now is all houndstooth.
Oh, God, I hope not.
All right, let's have a look and see. Roll Tide, as they say. We got Ali Garcia now. 14-meter start. So not bad. Alrighty. Okay, as we see Ali Garcia go through that pass. Wade, who you have?
I'm in your spot.
So, Whitney, a little bit different skiing now as a mom. It seems like you're like on top of the world, having more fun than anybody here.
It is fun, and I mean, that was just a perfect example of it feeling really good. I set myself up for that headwind 38 right now. Of course, I want a headwind. Just got a little deep at 3, and there's no coming out of it right now, just a week. It gives me a lot of appreciation for this sport right now.
Well, you got a whole bunch of people up here cheering for you because you're a mommy, so that's kind of the fun thing, right?
I love it. I mean, the people are there to support me, and I'm going to come back. I'll be competitive again soon.
We're cheering for you. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, and kudos to Whitney for getting out there and competing and getting some scores into 38 off. So, Ali Garcia, who actually scored 1.5 at 38 off herself in round 1. We'll see if she can get the bit between her teeth and to come up with something a little bit more substantive.
Yeah, here we go. 13 meters should be a nice walk in the park, so to speak, for Allie, and got a score 1.5 38 in round number 1. I know she wasn't too happy with that. Traveling down here came down from Alabama to ski this tournament. And we talked about it a little bit a couple weeks ago at the Travers Grand Prix about some of the skiers who don't really get the score they wanted to in round number 1. They tend to come out there a little bit fiery, a little bit more aggressive right from the start, which is what we're seeing from Alex right now. A woman who's capable of getting through 38 off and into 39. 13 meters really shouldn't be an issue, but she's skiing it nice and aggressive, kind of getting dialed in, getting that intensity and that amplitude stoked up for 35 and 38 coming up.
All righty, Roo, and looks like we've got a few folks tuning in. I think Zach mentioned Mike Hazelwood from a little bit earlier on. We've now got Franz Oberleitner joining in the conversation as well. No, pretty much every skiing legend from about 1960 is tuning in.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Franz fly over yet in the ultralight and come by and do a drive-by. Maybe he'll break it out for us this afternoon.
Is there a drop zone around here?
Well, it doesn't matter. He'll land that thing wherever.
All right, then. Here we go. As Raya Yorga gets ready for her turn out there on the slalom course, we have on the water Ali Garcia. Takes a good hit off buoy number 1 and number 2. This now, I believe, is 12 meters. Little on the back of the ski, but that's her style.
Yeah, a good look at 35 there. A little bit maybe too patient on 2-4 there, getting in that back seat a little bit, but she's got a killer 135. She's able to make up for that. I'd like to see her take a little bit more aggression in this gate, a little bit stronger start, and kind of get off to a little bit harder start. A decent 1 there, but you kind of see she's a bit slow here at 2. That ski kind of wheelied up here in a little bit. You can get away with it 35, but if she wants to get down the rope at 38 here, she's got to be more aggressive, get a strong start there, and really kind of get that good 2-ball, which is her offside, to kind of set herself up for a 3, 4, and then down the line a little bit further to get all the way through it.
Right, you are once more, Zach, and looking inside that towboat, Becky Lathrop, the legend that she is at the helm of that Nautique. Glad to have her present here. And there is our Nautique, 6.2 liter PCM, 450 horsepower, 465 foot-pounds of torque, and lubricated by Ravenol.
All right. Ali coming in, 38 off, had a score 1.5 the first round, needs to get a good start to this pass. Backseat at 1, she's going to be in a big 2 there and just not able to get it.
So 1.5 again.
Yeah, 1.5 again. I mean, consistent skiing. I know she's going to be a little disappointed with that score. She's capable of getting a lot further down the line here. And just even on that kind of on her edge change coming through in the 1, you saw her hips a little bit far behind her, handles a little bit away. And when you start a pass like that, it's so tough to get back into a normal rhythm when you kind of start off with on the tail of the ski there. So.
All right, we'll see what she can do in about a couple of weeks from now at the Mastercraft Pro, but for now it's 1.5 at 11.25 meters as we rejoin Wade Cox at the starting dock. Who do you have?
Hey, thanks, guys. I'm here with Paige Rini. Paige, wasn't your best weekend. You've been this, rising star. So how are you going to handle this weekend?
I'm just going to kind of put it past me. I mean, I didn't have the best 2 rounds, but it's okay. So, I mean, it's not a big deal. I have so many more years doing this, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But
yeah, and right, you're young. You're 20, right?
Yeah, I am 20, yeah. So I have a long time to go. So.
And take an online school, I hear. And what is your major going to be?
Communications.
Well, there you go. She's already practicing. Best of luck, Paige. Back to you guys.
All right, this is Raya Yorga. Looking good, looking in very, very good shape indeed, representing Switzerland. Land of Toblerone. Swiss Army knives. and square flags.
Well, I learn something new every day, Tony, when I get to announce with you.
Yes, Switzerland is the only flag in the world that's square. It is.
Well, I believe you. I did not know that. Fun fact for all you guys listening today.
I could bore you to tears with vexillology questions.
Let's just focus on slalom skiing for right now, Tony.
Yeah, we can. We can do that. And there's Alice Bagnoli. There's Ali Garcia with her strength statistics, 478 pounds, 3.4 to 1 ratio against her body weight of 139, and operating off A2 so far as the 0 off is concerned.
Alrighty, we'll be paying attention to those weight to pull ratios a little bit further down the line as we kind of get towards the end of this event, because we do have a $500 cash prize for the biggest pull of the day, which is always fun and exciting for some of these skiers.
And a syndicate slalom line. So, there you go. That's great skiing there from Raya. Going right down the line.
All right, like we said, still opting to start at 28 off. She'll have a nice 35 headwind here. Turning around, looking back. The wind really doesn't seem to be a huge factor, so she should have a nice 35 tight line coming in here. It could play a little bit of a role that start at 38. We saw it kind of get a hold of Alex Garcia a little bit, as well as Paige Rini. So, we'll see if some of these girls start electing like Whitney did and go off at that 32 off and start giving themselves a 38 down the line here.
That reminds me of a Jerry Rafferty song, Right Down the Line.
Oh, Tony.
Wisdom
for days. Wisdom for days.
Actually, that'll be a valid question. You've got Sirius XM, haven't you?
I do.
I'll be curious to know what your presets are.
Channel 34, lithium. And then channel 44 if I want to get a little fun rap music in there. All right, 12 meters. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Nicely done, off buoy number 1. This is 12 meters. Look at her go. Come on, Raya. Ooh, look at this. On fire here.
All right.
2 at 11.25 meters in the round previous to this, and looking in good shape to get to that score again.
Yeah, a good looking pass there. I saw her pulling a little bit longer in the 135. I haven't watched Ray ski a ton, but she had a nice gait there, but got a little bit in the back seat. And you kind of see her going in the 135, tends to stay and ride that flat ski for just a little bit too long. When that happens, that ski accelerates down the course, and it makes it tough to regain that line control and slow things down. So if she wants to get a good start here at 38 and get down the line a little bit more, she's got to make that edge change a little bit quicker coming in the 135.
All right, then. To answer your pressing question, Utopia.
All right, well.
First wave.
Real quick, Tony.
And Yacht Rock.
On the, we'll see Popeye, the big muscles there. That's our in our syndicate ski line today for our biggest pull of the day, weight ratio. So definitely one of the best ropes in the business, and probably one of the most unique trophies I've seen for a competition. Being a jumper, I kind of want to get some things going on that end. I want a Popeye trophy on my wall. Is it still too late to get my entry in for slalom? I could go borrow some gear and see how hard I could pull real quick.
Well, you might want to eat 1 or 2 of these bars here. Might get you give it a little bit more grunt. Here we go.
All right. Oh, and
half a buoy.
Half buoy at 38 off. Unfortunately, there, just even like kind of threw her gait and through the edge change there, just a little bit too far in the back seat, and any little mistake like that, or body mechanics are being a little bit out of whack, is amplified when you get down to these shorter line lengths. And she was going for a big one there because she knew she needed it, but just a little bit too far in the back seat to hang on.
All right, so we are 7 skiers down. We've got 7 to go because our field is 14 deep, I guess. Maybe 13 deep as we had the exclusion of Anna Gay. But now we're coming down to the skiers who, for one reason or another, couldn't make it through 11.25 meters, even though they're capable of doing it. And if they get to that particular point and getting into 10.75 meters, then they could start to move their way up the rankings and possibly knock out maybe one or two of the skiers that could well have thought, okay, I'm through to the next round of the competition.
Yeah, I mean, the table's still open. Regina Manon posting those scores deep into 39. Those are definitely some big scores for these women to follow. But Jamie Bull and Allie Nicholson I don't want to say leaving the door open. They left the door open a little bit with a 1 and a 3 at 39 because all the remaining skiers are all capable of running 38 off and getting down the line. And who knows if they're able to finally hook up at that one ball and if we'll see some shuffling at the top today. But it's going to take getting through 38 off regardless to be able to even put some pressure on some of these girls that are already in that top 4 position.
All right, coming to us from Italia, this is Alicia Bagnoli. Looking good. Don't see too many problems with that particular run as she makes her way through, and Becky enjoying life there with her big signature hat on. Gotta love it.
Becky's always a pleasure to have in the boat. And like I said earlier, skied a lot of events behind her in a lot of slalom tournaments down south, and it's great to see especially see a female driver in the boat pulling some of these competitions is always fun. And kudos to her for going through and sticking with it, and really become renowned for her driving skills, and asked to drive a lot of these events for the pro women and the pro men. So very cool little side note there from Kelly.
Whoa, hang on a second. Opting up.
See.
Hello.
I told you. See what this wind was going to do. She knows she needs she needs to get through 38. So right now she's going to opt up to 35 off. Get through that 35 off tailwind, set herself up for a nice 38. It's an interesting strategy there. I was always a fan when I was slaloming of opting up. I thought it was fun. It kind of got me pumped up, but in order she's got to get through this pass.
Well, she's definitely not here with the thought of just making up the numbers. She wants to make an impact, a serious impact here. And look at this. This is a 12-meter attempt. Needs to get through this. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. 6 buoys on an opt up.
And
yeah.
All right. That's how you opt up, Tony. You go out there.
Yeah.
You do it, and you throw down the muscle and get through it. Now, the benefit of that is she's a little bit fresher. She's coming in at 38. It's only her 3rd pass. She really hasn't used a ton of energy yet. The wind is starting to pick back up a little bit. So, really some ideal headwind here coming back in for 38 because we know she's got to get all the way through it.
Yes, indeed. That's how you own your risotto.
Tony, I got to come up with some better catchphrases so I can keep up with that.
Yes, indeed. All right. Culinary delights aside from the land of prosciutto and melon, which is one of my favorite meals in Italy whenever I get there. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to escape the United States this season, but still hoping for next one. All right, Alicia Bagnoli.
All right, let's see if this opt-up strategy is going to be able to pay off for a big headwind coming in. Nice-looking tight line out of 1 there.
Oh, look at this.
2. She needs, been out of shape.
And inside 3.
Oh, man. Tony, she had a great start there. I really liked her 1 ball, and it was almost, she got off the handle a little bit too soon into 2 ball, and that headwind kind of slowed her down and caught her up, got her narrow. And you can see her, she kind of got really bent out of shape across the wakes there. When that happens on this short line, it's really tough to recover from that. But
the strategy was sound, certainly, opting up for through to 12 meters and running that. But just getting that separation from the boat off number 2 and just couldn't really get it back underneath her. And 2 buoys, 11.25 meters. Now, how many skiers do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 remaining. So let's just say that in order to So in order to make it through to the next round of the competition, at least among the next two ladies, they've got to slalom more than possibly one at 10.75 meters. But then again, it might not all be cut and dry with that. But it's the ABC. You need to get through 38. You need to get the one, and then you've got to hope and pray that it's got to be enough.
Exactly. I mean, a one, granted, that might get you tied for fourth, but if we go back and look at backup scores, some of these girls, a 3 at 38 for Chelsea Mills coming up. So let's see if she can improve.
All right, let's have a look. Alicia Bagnoli, in spite of all of that, she does have the lead.
That was that big 5-ball we saw there at 35 off coming back down the lake on that opt-up. 633 pounds. That's
this is the rope tension leaderboard, by the way.
That is impressive.
Yep.
But that was that 5-ball we saw on that opt-up 35 coming back. So putting herself in the putting a ring in the hat for strongest bull.
She'll definitely have my vote for skier of the day.
Yeah, for after an opt-up pass like that and to come back and deliver.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, skier. If you think that's a performance that earns skier of the day honors, go to swissproslalom.com, and submit your vote. Still a lot more skiing to come, though, but we've got Chelsea Mills, a native of Charlotte in North Carolina, home of the ever-popular Carolina Panthers, at least in this part of the world.
I can't agree. I'm a Bucks fan there.
No. I know you are.
All right, Chelsea coming in. Nice, easy warm-up pass. These first two passes, really, the skiers out there, you're filling out your driver, you're filling out your skier, but more, they've already had a round. Right now, they're checking the wind out. We saw Allie go out there, or at least just go out there and feel it out and say, maybe that headwind's a little stronger than I anticipated, so I have the opportunity here to opt up. We'll see if Chelsea has a similar strategy or she wants to run right up the line.
All right, looking at some of our comments, and I think this one's already been answered by one of the other commenters, whatever. But Shannon Barley Waters said, for us non-skiers, can you please explain how the wind affects your skiing and why you want a headwind versus a tailwind? Someone's looking for some free coaching. Zach, over to you.
Well, I know Shannon. And
you do?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, Shannon's a good friend of mine, and grew up out at Jack Travers Ski School, and so they do some skiing out there, and her husband Brandon was one of my coaches growing up. So
she's trying to direct us.
I think she's trying to give us a little cue. So for you non-skiers out there, Shannon, the headwind, the beauty of having a headwind in slalom is it helps you slow that ski down a little bit, and it helps you keep a nice tight line. So right now, Chelsea's coming back in on a tailwind pass. What makes it tough being a tailwind is that wind's pushing you behind the back. These skiers and these skis are already designed. They have wings on them to try to accelerate across course, but when they get out to the buoy line, riding that flatter ski on its edge, the goal is to be able to slow it down enough to be able to keep the ski in the water and turn it. So, you might not think it sounds like much, maybe 5 or 10 miles an hour, but you really do feel those effects quite a bit on your body, pushing you down the lake. And we've seen some fun strategies in the past. Patrice Martin was one of my fun guys to watch. He was a guy who broke out a speed suit for slalom skiing, and I don't know if it worked or is more style or what it was, but I mean, just to say that the wind does play quite a big role, whether it's 5 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour.
But a lot of skiers actually these days with the ski designs, they're more apt to try and keep their water speed up a little bit. As we rejoin Wade Cox on dockside. How you doing, sir?
We've got one of our rising superstars, Allie Garcia. Maybe not your best weekend ever, but hey, we got a lot of years and good stuff left for you.
Yeah, thank you. I was just trying to kind of get everything figured out on my gates, and unfortunately couldn't quite do it today. But
so what are you going to learn from this weekend and take with you?
I'm going to go home and work on my gates and check my gear more often, because I did rip my kicker. But it was really fun. The conditions are amazing. This tournament is always so much fun, and I mean, you really can't complain about anything.
Good stuff. Awesome weekend. Thanks, Allie. Back to you guys.
All right, taking a look at Chelsea Mills. She started in at 28 off, I believe. We'll get confirmation of that. That was actually 35.
All right, we'll come back and watch this replay. 35 off. Nice looking pass for Chelsea. Looks nice and in control here throughout this entire pass. Kind of getting off the handle, being maybe a little hesitant on that 2-4. It is her offside. But a good looking 35 off for Chelsea, but she knows that she needs a big start here at 38. There might be a little bit of tailwind pushing her down the lake, but if she gets through that 38, that sets herself up for a headwind 39, which is the scores to beat right now. It's going to take at least one, if not further, into 39 to get herself through to the finals. And
Chelsea Mills is actually part of a sports psychology practice over in Charlotte, in North Carolina, called Winning Mindset. I spoke to her a little bit about that over at Hilltop in Arlington, Washington, and not only does she deal with sports psychology to a certain extent, but she's also a certified tennis coach as well.
Wow, that's impressive. I tried playing tennis, never was good at it.
She actually started playing tennis before she ever got into this gig.
All right, good looking start here at 38. Big 3-ball needs to kind of make up some ground here. He's going to take a big 5. Did she get it? Not quite. 5 at 38 for Chelsea. Taking that pass tailwind there. Might have caught up with her a little bit towards the end there.
That does put her ahead of Luisa Jaramillo, but not enough to get her into the top 4 at the moment.
All right, guys, just for you watching on webcast, we do live in Florida, and it does rain, so bear with us a little bit. We're going to see if we can get this storm to pass through real quick and then get these skiers back on the water. So stay tuned, and we'll get you back out there as soon as this rain passes through.
All right, then, our next competitor to take to water, and she's approaching the course right now, Luisa Jaramillo. A 13-meter start. Who's a graduating senior at South Walton High School, not too far away from Santa Rosa Beach. And I think a competitor who would still be eligible to compete in the Junior World Championships come next season. Well, she was eligible to compete in these Junior World Championships, and I think the IWWF put in an exemption, and now for anyone that actually was eligible to compete this year can compete in the Junior World Championships next year.
Yeah, and I think that's the right thing to do, Tony. I mean, this year, unfortunately was a bit of a wash for some of these events, and it happened to land on a World's year for these juniors. And the Junior Worlds is a big undertaking for these kids, and it's glad that they're not going to lose that opportunity, due to circumstances outside of their control, not to be able to compete in an event like that. I got to ski in several Junior Worlds, and it was really those tournaments that solidified my love for the sport and allowed me to really kind of push it down into my pro career. So I'm glad that IWSF was able to make that happen for these juniors.
Yeah, the last Junior Worlds you were involved in was like 2008, wasn't it, where you actually got the World Jump title and the Junior World Championship record. Is that correct?
Yep, that was what was
in
that?
Peru.
That was down in Peru.
Bayama Lucas. So there we go. This is Luisa Jaramillo. Looking in great shape there.
Good looking pass there. Let's see. I know you guys in webcast there can see that dark sky behind us. It's only a matter of time before the sky lets loose. So let's see if we can get some of these girls skied before before the rain above kind of starts to spoil our fun a little bit.
And we've been on a pretty frantic pace trying to get our skiers skied in each time the boat makes its way back to the dock. I mean, not only are we battling the weather, but we also battle in daylight as well, because in May we have plenty of daylight to work with. In October, not so much.
Yeah, it makes it tough this time of year. It's tough to get an early start, and then it really starts creeping down that sun a little earlier in the night than we want. But wind's starting to gust up here. Tough conditions, kind of being on this cusp, and it's unfortunately the way you draw it. Drawing straws on where you're going to get any wind conditions like that. That's the nature of the sport. Sometimes the conditions will vary between skiers and between rounds, and strong headwind coming back in here.
So it's all on Luisa Jaramillo's shoulders. This is 38 off, 11.25 meters. She started in on 30. Oh, and not the best of starts, and cannot make a play on number 3, which means that our final field is set before they even hit the water.
Yep. Our 4 remainder skiers all made it through that 38 off. Not for lack of effort for some of these other women's earlier off in the event, all leaving it all out there in the water, trying to get through that 38 to put some pressure on Allie Nicholson, Jamie Bowman, on Costard, and Regina Jaques. But as it stands right now, our next 4 women that you'll see on the water are all guaranteed through the finals, which kind of opens up a unique strategy for these skiers. Whether they decide to take it easy and just get a nice feel-out set and not push it too hard, or they want to really go 110, 120% and see how far they can take it to be able to see what they're able to do in the finals.
Yeah, basically test out wind strategy and a whole bunch of other things that they may want involved with. They could even experiment with an opt-up, and see how that pans out.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's a strategy round right now. Same thing that we do for jumping. If I know I'm already guaranteed into the finals, I'm using whatever jump or whatever opportunity I have to see how late in the course, see how aggressive I could possibly be, and not push it over the limit. So that's what we're going to see probably from these next couple slalom skiers. It may just be a feel out, maybe try a different letter. Test out a different, do they want to start at 32 or maybe go back to 28 and opt up to that for a 38 headwind, or maybe play around with 38 downwind, taking a 39 headwind strategy. So we'll see what the girls got for us here. Wind's definitely picking up on us, Tony.
And there's Allie Nicholson. She's happy. And why not? Because she knows that she's going to be skiing in the final round, no matter what. So, one at 10.75 meters in the round previous to this, and rocking that Syndicate Pro. This is Allie Nicholson, hailing out of Gallatin, Tennessee.
All right, and Allie this year has really been skiing well, kind of getting dialed in, riding the new HO, and a fun competitor to watch, nice and tall skier. She's light on the line, but she's a little girl who could pack a lot of punch. And I know going into this season, working with HO and Wade and Marcus and those guys talked about, wanting to be able to, her goal for the season was to just to make some podiums at some pro events. And she's already got 2 of those this year, finishing off, at this event here, definitely trying to push it into, see if she can get another podium finish for this year.
Yes, and Allie Nicholson, aside from what she does on the water, she just recently got a qualification to become a nurse. She works at a medical practice hospital in Pensacola, up there in Escambia County, Sonoma counties, and she, for 12 hours a day, she is dressed head to toe in full PPE. I mean, think of the movie Contagion with the respirators and all that kind of stuff, and you pretty much get a picture of what Allie Nicholson's life is.
Yeah, so I know it's probably definitely a relief to come down here and and be able to relax a little bit in that tournament. And, I talked to a lot of these skiers, if they're just, pro skiers, skiing is their livelihood. A lot of these skiers nowadays, they have full-time jobs outside of just competing here. And, myself working full-time, it makes your time on the water a lot more appreciative. And so it's good to see Allie out there, not only putting herself through school and a rigorous school schedule and to do what she does, but then to be able to still compete at this level, slalom skiing is huge. And a little bobble there at 2x4, but kind of gets back in it. 35 off here for Allie.
Nicely done. Like what she's doing. Allie Nicholson through the exit gates and getting ready for her next pass. So Allie Nicholson started in on 13 meters, to the best of my knowledge, which will make this next. So 11.25 meters is next. Former skier for the Moccasins of FSC. And we've had collegiate experiences competing at the collegiate nationals, haven't we, Zach?
We have. I've had you there for a couple of them. And they're collegiate skiing. I mean, for anyone outside of the sport, it is a really cool opportunity for skiers to be able to join a water ski club in college and ski for a team. And because oftentimes with water skiing, we're a solo event, so it's fun to have that team aspect, and then you do it in college. So. All right, got the rain starting to come down here. I'll be curious to see what we decide to do with Allie on the water. You can see there in the webcast, drops starting to hit pretty hard. It looks like we're going to get ready to get hit here pretty soon. Looks like to me that I'm hearing pack it up from some of our officials. Probably going to bring Allie back in the boat.
Looks like that boat's hitting, going back towards the dock. So.
All righty, well, let's get hunkered down, Tony. We'll be back with you guys here live as soon as this rainstorm clears.
All right, then. We'll be back right after this 2020 Swiss Pro Slalom.
Ever since I've been skiing on the D3 Ion S, I really like how the sweet spot is an inch bigger than the Evo, which has given me a lot more predictability in the course, whether it's calm or rough conditions. The way the ski feels makes me excited for the upcoming season.
I think a characteristic that most skiers can appreciate about the Ion is its consistency and predictability. I feel pretty confident coming into the tournament season that I can show up and score what I'm capable of because of this ski.
One of the things I have always noticed in my 11 years of riding D3 skis is that they are some of the most predictable and consistent skis that I have ever ridden. What I like most about this ski is that it's fast across the wake, but due to the narrower forebody from the front foot forwards, it allows the ski to slow down in the edge change, as well as let the tip of the ski carve a tight turn around the buoy, resulting in more angle out of the backside of the buoy.
could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know that I was born for this. I was born for this. Baby, I was born for this. I was born for this. Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know I was born. I tell you I was born for this. Ain't nothing gonna stop me now.
Water skiing is fun. Being cold and trying to water ski, however, can be miserable. So for all of you die-hard early and late season skiers out there, let us introduce you to your new friend, the all-new line of Syndicate Dryflex wetsuits. The goal was simple: design high-quality, long-lasting wetsuits specifically for water skiing without compromising feel and mobility. The water-repellent and quick-drying 1.5mm high-stretch neoprene provides the elasticity you want with the warmth you need. All wetsuits are constructed with glued, blind-stitched seams, as well as water seal locks on wrists and leg openings to keep you semi-dry during use. We are proud to be able to offer you another tool to keep you on the water longer and moving closer toward your goals. So before the cold water season hits, be sure to get your hands on one of these, the all-new line of Syndicate Dryflex wetsuits.
My name's Freddie Winter. I'm a professional water skier. I'm the 2017 World Champion, current Masters Champion. So I got to know the guys at Aid Crew a few years ago, and I was immediately pretty excited about the way that they were going about designing their product and their brand. It's got a youthful feel to it, which I can definitely get behind. I feel really good about that. And the stuff they make is just beautiful. It fits really well. I can put it on and feel at home immediately, and I've won a lot of tournaments wearing their stuff, and I'm looking to continue to do that. So the thing I especially like about the life jacket is that I have no restrictions on my body. I feel like I have the safety aspect, but also I'm not restricted anyway, so I can go and get my full reach on or whatever I need to do when I'm on the water in order to go and perform my best. What more can you ask for really from a ski vest? So I'm really excited to be with Aid Crew for the 2020 season and looking forward to all the great success that I believe and I hope that I'm going to have going forward wearing the Aid Crew ski vest.
I'm Manon Costard. I'm a professional water skier. I've been skiing for Aid Crew for 4 years now, and I'm the current world champion. What I really like about Aid is their new designs every year for the vest. They're super comfortable, the women's cut is really great for me, and I really enjoy the different designs that they come up each year. When you're on the starting dock before tournaments, you want to feel very comfortable, and with the stress and everything, it's good to have a gear that is very, very good for you and very well cut and that you can trust. And I found that with Aid, and since I've been skiing with those ski vests, I've won a few pro tournaments, including Masters and Mumbai and the Worlds last year. And I know that the vest is something that helps me a lot.
Ever since I've been skiing on the D3 Ion S, I really like how the sweet spot is an inch bigger than the Evo, which has given me a lot more predictability in the course, whether it's calm or rough conditions. The way the ski feels makes me excited for the upcoming season.
I think a characteristic that most skiers can appreciate about the Ion is its consistency and predictability. I feel pretty confident coming into the tournament season that I can show up and score what I'm capable of because of this ski.
One of the things I have always noticed in my 11 years of riding D3 skis is that they are some of the most predictable and consistent skis that I have ever ridden. What I like most about this ski is that it's fast across the wake, but due to the narrower forebody from the front foot forwards, it allows the ski to slow down in the edge change, as well as let the tip of the ski carve a tight turn around the buoy, resulting in more angle out of the backside of the buoy.
couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know that I was born for this. I was born for this. Baby, I was born for this. I was born for this. Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know I was born. I tell you, I was born for this. Ain't nothing gonna stop me now.
Water skiing is fun. Being cold and trying to water ski, however, can be miserable. So for all of you die-hard early and late season skiers out there, let us introduce you to your new friend, the all-new line of Syndicate Dryflex wetsuits. The goal was simple: design high-quality, long-lasting wetsuits specifically for water skiing without compromising feel and mobility. The water-repellent and quick-drying 1.5mm high-stretch neoprene provides the elasticity you want with the warmth you need. All wetsuits are constructed with glued, blind-stitched seams, as well as water seal locks on wrists and leg openings to keep you semi-dry during use. We are proud to be able to offer you another tool to keep you on the water longer and moving closer toward your goals. So before the cold water season hits, be sure to get your hands on one of these, the all-new line of Syndicate Dryflex wetsuits.
My name's Freddie Winter. I'm a professional water skier. I'm the 2017 World Champion, current Masters Champion. So I got to know the guys at Aid Crew a few years ago, and I was immediately pretty excited about the way that they were going about designing their product and their brand. It's got a youthful feel to it, which I can definitely get behind. I feel really good about that. And the stuff they make is just beautiful. It fits really well. I can put it on and feel at home immediately, and I've won a lot of tournaments wearing their stuff, and I'm looking to continue to do that. So the thing I especially like about the life jacket is that I have no restrictions on my body. I feel like I have the safety aspect, but also I'm not restricted anyway, so I can go and put my full reach on or whatever I need to do when I'm on the water in order to go and perform my best. What more can you ask for really from a ski vest? So I'm really excited to be with Aid Crew for the 2020 season and looking forward to all the great success that I believe and I hope that I'm going to have going forward wearing the Aid Crew ski vest.
Manon Costard. I'm a professional water skier. I've been skiing for Aid Crew for 4 years now, and I'm the current world champion. What I really like about Aid is their new designs every year for the vest. They're super comfortable, the women's cut is really great for me, and I really enjoy the different designs that they come up each year. When you're on the starting dock before tournaments, you want to feel very comfortable, and with the stress and everything, it's good to have a gear that is very, very good for you and very well cut and that you can trust. And I found that with Aid, and since I've been skiing with those ski vests, I've won a few pro tournaments, including Masters and Mumbai and the Worlds last year. And I know that the vest is something that helps me a lot.
Ever since I've been skiing on the D3 Ion S, I really like how the sweet spot is an inch bigger than the Evo, which has given me a lot more predictability in the course, whether it's calm or rough conditions. The way the ski feels makes me excited for the upcoming season.
I think a characteristic that most skiers can appreciate about the Ion is its consistency and predictability. I feel pretty confident coming into the tournament season that I can show up and score what I'm capable of because of this ski.
One of the things I have always noticed in my 11 years of riding D3 skis is that they are some of the most predictable and consistent skis that I have ever ridden. What I like most about this ski is that it's fast across the wake, but due to the narrower forebody from the front foot forwards, it allows the ski to slow down in the edge change, as well as let the tip of the ski carve a tight turn around the buoy, resulting in more angle out of the backside of the buoy.
couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know that I was born for this. I was born for this. Baby, I was born for this. I was born for this. Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know I was born. I tell you I was born for this. Ain't nothing gonna stop me now.
Water skiing is fun. Being cold and trying to water ski, however, can be miserable. So for all of you die-hard early and late season skiers out there, let us introduce you to your new friend, the all-new line of Syndicate Dryflex wetsuits. The goal was simple: design high-quality, long-lasting wetsuits specifically for water skiing without compromising feel and mobility. The water-repellent and quick-drying 1.5mm high-stretch neoprene provides the elasticity you want with the warmth you need. All wetsuits are constructed with glued, blind-stitched seams as well as water seal locks on wrist and leg openings to keep you semi-dry during use. We are proud to be able to offer you another tool to keep you on the water longer and moving closer toward your goals. So before the cold water season hits, be sure to get your hands on one of these, the all-new line of Syndicate Dryflex wetsuits.
My name's Freddie Winter. I'm a professional water skier. I'm the 2017 World Champion, current Masters Champion. So I got to know the guys at Aid Crew a few years ago, and I was immediately pretty excited about the way that they were going about designing their product and their brand. It's got a youthful feel to it, which I can definitely get behind. I feel really good about that, and the stuff they make is just beautiful. It fits really well. I can put it on and feel at home immediately, and I've won a lot of tournaments wearing their stuff, and I'm looking to continue to do that. So the thing I especially like about the life jacket is that I have no restrictions on my body. I feel like I have the safety aspect, but also I'm not restricted anyway, so I can go and put my full reach on or whatever I need to do when I'm on the water in order to go and perform my best. What more can you ask for really from a ski vest? So I'm really excited to be with Aid Crew for the 2020 season and looking forward to all the great success that I believe and I hope that I'm going to have going forward wearing the Aid Crew ski vest.
I'm Manon Costard. I'm a professional water skier. I've been skiing for Aid Crew for 4 years now, and I'm the current world champion. What I really like about Aid is their new designs every year for the vest. They're super comfortable, the women's cut is really great for me, and I really enjoy the different designs that they come up each year. When you're on the starting dock before tournaments, you want to feel very comfortable, and with the stress and everything, it's good to have a gear that is very, very good for you and very well cut and that you can trust. And I found that with Aid, and since I've been skiing with those ski vests, I've won a few pro tournaments, including Masters and Mumbai and the Worlds last year. And I know that the vest is something that helps me a lot.
Well, hey, folks. Looks like we're back.
Long time no see. It's looks a little clearer in the background for right now. So a little rainstorm ripped through there, Tony. Kind of caused some frantic running around, get some things packed up, keep all this amazing equipment you guys have for this webcast, keep it dry so we can keep streaming to you guys for the rest of the day. But we're back on. We get a preliminary pass going and get caught back up from where we left off at with Ali Nicholson.
A little damp. How are you?
I'm good. I got a chance to catch up on my fantasy football team. So,
how's it looking right now?
I'm not doing too bad. But I don't want to speak too soon because last time I did that, it came back to bite me.
You drafted Tom Brady?
I'm not that loyal of a Bucs fan.
Okay. Yikes.
Now, I believe with what we had, Ali ran 32-35, and with the rules and what they state, if a skier is interrupted for more than 10 minutes, a slalom skier is elected to take a warm-up pass from the previous line length, or a pass of her choosing. So before the rainstorm, Ali would have been coming back in at 38 off, coming back down the lake. So I believe what they'll do is bring Ali back to the far end of the lake. She'll take a warm-up pass, maybe a 32, maybe a 35, and then attack that 38 again as if the round was never interrupted. Now, if something were to happen and she was to fall on that warm-up pass going back, that would be no harm to her. It's there for a warm-up. It's been more than 10 minutes. So it's a tough spot to be in, but, as athletes and as skiers, these are the best in the world, and this is what they train for is, moments like this where you're faced with some adversity or some tough conditions, but Ali's been doing this for a long time, and she should be good to go.
There we go. It's a bit like Surf Pro, like it never happened.
Yeah, exactly. So,
indeed. All right, so that's what we got facing us. Got Ali Nicholson, and looks like she's going to go in at a pass of her choosing. Could be anything. Yeah. She might want to go full on ridiculous and go like 34 mile an hour long line if she wanted to.
I think that'd be harder to run 38. I don't know if I could do that. But just to recap, while we're waiting to get Ali on the water, recap from round number 2. We had Natasha with a 5 at 35, Jessie Duberton with a 2 at 38, Paige Rini with a 3.5 38, Whitney McClintock Rini with 3 at 38, Alexander Garcia with a 1.5 38. Alicia had a 2 at 38, Chelsea Mills 5 at 38, and Louisa with a 3 at 38. So some good skiing here. Unfortunately for those skiers that I just named off, they're not going to be able to make it through to the finals because the next 4 women have a complete pass at 11.25 meters. See, Ali Nicholson had a 1 at 39 in round number 1. So at this point, we talked about it before the rainstorm. Go out there, attack it. Get a feel for what it's going to feel like in the finals. Be aggressive with it. Maybe try to ski a little bit harder to see if how far down that 39 she can take it, because she's got people like Jamie Bull, Manon Costard, and Regina going off the dock after her.
All right, so, yep, pretty much like Zach said. The next 4 skiers all running 11.25 meters in round number 1, the only 4 to do it. So by that estimation, all of those skiers have made it through to next round of the competition. There is Ellie Nicholson by the start dock, newly qualified nurse. Works 12-hour days, maybe more. Dressed head to toe in PPE, respirator. That's got to be the look of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a pretty sum up 2020 pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to publish like Time magazine like issue of the year, that would be pretty much it, wouldn't it?
I got a feeling there'll be a couple of those covers coming through the year, but yeah, it's good to be back. Hopefully this rain holds off. The radar does look like there's some maybe some rain down the line, but hopefully it still pushes a little bit further south than we're at right now. Skies are looking good behind us. Hoping that this holds off. We can get through this round 2 of the women into the men. That way we can get our top 4 for the women and top 8 placement for the finals here at the Swiss Pro.
Yeah, looking forward to some more great skiing, but obviously there is that 10-minute time factored in, with the potential for Ali Nicholson to go in at whatever she wants.
Yeah, so
warm up.
A tough position to be in, but a lot of these slalom skiers, for as long as you're doing it, and especially when you're skiing a lot in the south and in Florida in particular, rain delays happen, storms happen. There's a lot of times where you'll be mid-set and you have to come in and then go back out cold. But that's what these guys train for, and I think Allie shouldn't really struggle with that too much at all. 38's a pass that she's comfortable with and familiar with, and she'll be able to go out there and get it. All right, take a look at the webcast there. These guys are just getting the boat dialed in, making sure all the antennas are running, boat camera, all the videos, all these amazing angles that they're able to provide for you guys for webcast, get the rope tension meter running. So a lot of behind the scenes things to make a broadcast like this happen. So props to you, Tony and Vincent.
You hear that from JT. The most important part of all of this deal is the rope tension, because that's where he has the most potential of winning some cold hard.
Yeah, I talked to JT during the storm, and I think he's actually going to break out the neck collar for round number 2 and then just go for big pulls.
Is that true, JT?
He's giving us a thumbs up.
He is? Okay, he's gonna throw the cattle collar.
Couldn't help you with that one. Thank you, Chelsea.
All right, so we should have the running order coming up any moment soon. That will tell you who's coming up next. And looks like the skies have cleared a little bit, at least for the interim. But you just never know with October showers.
Yeah, welcome to Florida, Tony. Welcome to Florida.
Oh, I love Florida. But I love my Saints and I love Louisiana.
I did some time there. It was fun.
Yeah, you did.
I got my 3 years in. I ate enough of my my jambalaya and broils, and I had too many daiquiris, so I had to come back to Florida.
You're all daiquiried out. Alrighty, so 4 skiers to come to round off round 2 of the women's competition. You see the first of them getting ready. That was Ali Nicholson. The crowd, what we had of it, are a little slow getting out from underneath the tarp, so we'll see them back out towards the mid-tower in just a moment. And Ali Nicholson, 55K, 13 meters. Looks like she's going to start where she... Yeah, 13 meters.
All right, ready when you are.
All right, here we go, Ali Nicholson. Still trying to determine whether this is a complete restart or a warm-up pass at 32 off or 13 meters. It is a warm-up pass from what we're able to ascertain. Starting over.
All right, well, we're figuring it out here, too. We're just getting word from our judges, so Ali's going to elect to go out there, and this is going to be just a fresh start. You know, they determined that the conditions were bad enough in the first round, and the break was long enough that we're just going to go ahead and go back out. 13 meters, I don't believe that would be a protected score. I could be wrong on that, but regardless, it would be a full 6 buoys at 35. You know, Ali should be able to eclipse that. But starting off fresh here, 13 meters, Ali Nicholson, a fresh set of downs, so to speak.
There we go. Little football analogy thrown in there. I love me some football.
I did too. I got the NFL Red Zone going right now.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. My Bucks. Alrighty, we got Jamie Bull warming up on the dock down there. Jamie posted a huge score earlier this week, running through 39. Big score for her, but back on the water, fellow teammate, HO teammate here, Ali Nicholson, coming back in 12 meters, Tony.
All right, let's see what she's got. Good start, round buoy number 2, keeping the ski out ahead of her. Not looking in bad shape. Doesn't have to work nearly as really as hard as some of her competitors to run that pass.
Good-looking 35 there. Got a little taily out of 4, which 35 she got away with it there, but that makes me nervous coming back at 38. She's got to stay more aggressive and stay more on that front foot coming into that offside turn because a turn like that at 38 is going to eat you up pretty quick.
And just has that uncanny knack to in using her knees to guide that ski around and then just get behind the handle and then off to the races she goes. She's really, really improved in leaps and bounds in the last few seasons or so. And the fact that she's a full-time nurse certainly hasn't detracted from her slaloming abilities.
No, if anything's getting more dialed in, but here we go. Ali coming in, 38 off. Like we said, she's already into the final. She got through this pass in round number 1. I know she wants to do it again, get another crack at 39, see how far she can push it.
All right, Ali Nicholson. Nice. 38 off right now. And solidifying her greatness. There we go. That is a 6 buoy count at 38 off. And even that score right there would have been enough to send her through to the next round, irrespective of what she scored earlier.
Yeah, no, I mean, got right through 38. Now here on this gate, you can see her get locked in, and those hips just never quite get up to the handle. And when she does, kind of rides that flat ski in the one there and kind of puts her in the back seat. You can see they're barely able to hang on. Really need to borrow one of JT's neck collars there out of 1. But kind of gets herself back composed again, back over to 3, and at that point was able to kind of get back in her rhythm that she needed to be in from the start. 39 doesn't play around. You know, you can't afford to be that far in the back seat coming in the 1 ball there because it's going to chew you up and spit you out right away. So I like to see a little bit wider gate there, a little bit more front foot pressure through that second wake. Get herself that onside turn out of one ball, and then get a good one, and that's going to put some pressure on Jamie and Manon that are further up in the series.
All right. There's Jamie there, just getting focused, just pacing up and down the dock and seeing what Ali Nicholson can do. Now, obviously, Ali Nicholson has done enough to make it through to the next round. All of our 4 skiers at this stage of competition have, but now it's just a case of where you end up with the seeding.
Yeah, and just unfortunately there, another one at 39 for Ali. Tried to get the ski to be a little bit more aggressive in turn, and then just wasn't really kind of hooked up and connected and ready for that pull, and you could tell she came up a little bit narrow there at 1. And when that happens, that ski tends to roll over a little bit harder than you anticipate, and your body's not there to catch up for it. But through 38 again, that's a good confidence round. There's two back-to-back rounds through 38 into 39, because that's what it's going to take to really put herself on the podium at this event. So she'll go back to the drawing board a little bit, kind of figure out what's going on, and then that way she'll be able to attack in finals.
All right, then. So 4th place is where she came into this round. That's exactly where she'll stay because she didn't exceed the score of Jamie Bull. And Jamie Bull is our next competitor to go. You see the stats there for Ali Nicholson. So here we go. So Jamie Bull, who won her first pro title not too long ago at the Hilltop event in Arlington in Washington, not too far away from Seattle. Scored into 41 off, or 10.25 meters in that event, and has been pretty good in getting into that line length recently with a tournament over at Jaques.
Yeah, Jamie getting through 39 off earlier this week over at Sunset Lakes, and really posting big scores. And the cool thing to see about Jamie, she's been been seeing more and more consistent. So let's go ahead and head down to our dock. I believe we got Ali Nicholson down there with Mr. Wade Cox.
Right, you are.
So here with Ali Nicholson, who actually already knew she was going to be a finalist when she left the dock. A little bit different skiing without all the pressure, right? Almost like a free set.
Yeah, I just wanted to go out there, see if I could get a little deeper at 39, see if I could get a feel for it before going into the finals. Guess I'm going to have to save that for the finals, see what we can do next round.
And that'll be coming up soon. So you've scored the same score both rounds. So trying anything different for the finals?
We made a little bit of a fin adjustment after the last one. I think I just got to figure that gate out at 39. I'm just going a little too hard. Got to soften up a little bit, see if I can get a better one ball.
All right, there we go. That's Ali. Back to you, Tony.
Thank you very much indeed, Wade and Ali, who we'll look forward to seeing coming first off the dock in the final round of the women's competition. Second off the dock, unless she improves by over one buoy and doesn't have that score beaten, is Jamie Bull. Here she comes. Looking strong. Good knee bend. Little flat footing on some turns, but that's nothing she can't handle. And that's a beauty of a pass. That is a 12-meter run.
That's a good point there, talking about kind of flat-footed a little bit. 35 off really isn't a tough pass for her, but I know she's kind of pushing that ski around a little bit too hard on 2-4, and kind of causing that ski to stall out a little bit. Want to see her take a little bit more speed into that turn and let that ski come all the way under her before she starts pushing on it. So a couple little things to work out, but again, it's 35 off. She's trying to ski it patient and not be overly aggressive, because you can kind of get yourself some trouble by working too hard at some of these earlier passes. But 38 off, want to see a little bit more balanced, a little more front foot pressure coming into that onside turn.
So continuing to get more and more votes for Skier of the Day. We're almost at about 800 votes coming in.
Yeah, some impressive voting from all you guys out there. We had just shy of 1,500 votes, on our podium shots for winning those slalom skis, and now our skier of the day, we're getting up there, upwards of 800. So keep the votes coming in for who you think should be taking home skier of the day between his men and women.
All right, coming to you from beautiful Lake County in Central Florida. This is the 2020 Swiss Pro Slalom event. Nicely done. There is a man on Costard dockside, taking a brief look at what Jamie Bull has just produced out there at 38 off.
Yeah, some of these skiers, I like it. It's beneficial to be able to be at a starting dock where you can see your competitor skiing, because being later off in the round, it is nice to watch the people go out there. You could see if maybe it's a little bit of rollers, if the water's moving a little bit, kind of get an idea of what it's skiing like out there before you're actually out there on the water and make any adjustments, mentally or, physically with your ski or your setup that you need to prior to actually going out there and competing.
And Jamie Bull, who I think actually returned to Canada for just a short amount of time, then actually came back, then skied in this event, and she'll head back to the Great White North very soon afterwards. And travel and being able to be as mobile as one would want to be has been difficult at best, what with the pandemic and COVID-19 and all of that and all the restrictions that go along with it.
Yeah, I know Drew touched on it earlier. Unfortunately, we are missing some competitors here. Just travel restrictions, not be able to make it over to stateside, but still filled a very strong cast of skiers here. 39 off, Jamie Bull. A little bit out of one. Let's see if she needs a big two ball here. She gets the ski back down under her. Early for three. Hitched at three. I'm not sure if she quite got that ski around four ball. We'll go back and take a look at that on our instant replay here.
See if she made a play on it, because this is 39.5 off 10.75 meters.
Regardless, even if she did get that ski around, it's only going to be 3.5, but judging by her reaction, I don't think she knows if she got around it either. Had that big two ball there and got that ski on top of the line, picked her up a little bit. Narrow at three. Let's see what we got going on here. Did she get that ski around number 4?
Oh, and we need to roll back on that one if we can.
I'm not sure. Tony, just watching it quick there, I don't think she got that ski quite all the way around, thus giving her another score at 3 at 39 unofficially, which would keep her in the third seed. She won't surpass Manon's 4, so that's a nice spot to be in. She knows what it takes to make the podium, but she's tired of making podium, and she wants to take home another gold. So let's see what we got here from her. She inside 4 ball there, but nice performance from Jamie Bull. 3 at 39 off.
Excellent. Now the only potential for movement now exists between Regina Jaques and this competitor so far as the top seeding is concerned. This is Manon Costard, the current world women's slalom champion. Entrance gates number 1. Native of France, and would ordinarily ski over at the Stade Petro facility in Lacanau in western France, not too far outside the city of Bordeaux, but has been spending a lot of her time here in Central Florida, and doing pretty good out there. Opening pass of 30 meters, and looking very, very strong as a result.
Yeah, I've been on a fun skier to watch. I really like her style. She's kind of got that French style, kind of like we see from Sasha in France, and really kind of gets low behind the boat. Knees are bent, and that allows her to stay nice and powerful behind the boat. Almost a bad part of that sometimes is there's a lot more movement with the body going on. You start eliminating variables with the knees and the shoulders, but Manon chooses to get lower behind the boat, get those knees bent to get in a more powerful position. But she does a really good job of, through the edge change and up and into the buoy, standing tall on that front foot and getting that ski to slow back down and really keeping her chest as still as possible.
Right you are. There's Becky Lathrop at the helm of that towboat. Now bringing in Manon Costard. Now, the only way that Manon Costard can move into the top-seeded position is if she gets more than 2 at 41 off and is unbeaten between the time that she ends her run and the time that Regina ends hers.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's going to take a big score from it on to unseed Regina out of that top score. But we just saw that 38, so we'll go ahead and we'll go down the weight on the dock.
Here with Jamie Bull, our second finalist. And sort of a scenario you've been in before, you already knew you were in the final. So what were your sort of goals when you're out there that round?
I just wanted to feel it out again. I'm taking start at 32, which we're going to have to do in finals. So hoping to get a little further down the pass and maybe see 5 or 6 and see what they look like, but it's all right.
Yeah, so it actually looked like, it's kind of far from here, but it actually looked like your 39 was okay, huh?
Yeah, definitely the start was pretty good, and I kind of came up into 3 and hopped on the tip and kind of got jammed a little bit, so I was slow at a 3, but yeah, I'm excited for finals.
You got some left, too. All right, see you soon. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you there, Wade, and thanks once again to Jamie Bull and on her performance there with 3 at 10.75 meters. She'll be second off the dock in the final round. Let's see what Manon Costard can do here and now. Good strong knee bend on the entrance gates and setting itself up a good rhythm on the first couple of buoys. On passes this short, you're almost on autopilot so far as rhythm is concerned, unless you get into a little bit of trouble, and then you're going to have to dig deep. But Manon Costard not at that point yet.
No, in 38, she's no stranger to 38. She's put down countless 38 offs, and right now you really couldn't ask for better conditions. There's hardly any wind out there. The flags are pretty much at a standstill, sitting down. This is just textbook skiing right here. There's not a lot of variables out there. It's a boat she's comfortable with, familiar with, a driver that she skied with before. Now it's just all a matter of who's going to be the better skier today when you're eliminating variables like wind and water conditions.
So as we continue to do a quick circle around the world, yes indeed, it's about 11:30 in the morning in Los Angeles. It's 7:30 in the evening in London, an hour later for most of Europe. If you're tuning in to us from Melbourne, Australia, it is 5:25 in the morning on Monday.
Tony, please tell me you got something pulled up that's telling you this, or did you just rattle that off the top of your head?
I've got timeanddate.com. There we go.
All right, 39 off. Manon Costard. Let's see what she can do here. She got a 4 in the first round, big 1 ball. Needs to settle down at 2. She gets a nice 2 there.
Look at this.
She's in this, Tony.
Look at this.
Come on. Can she get that ski around 5?
Come on.
She does.
Gotcha.
Hold on.
There you go.
Hop, skipping, and jumping out the gates. 39 on. Tailwind, Manon Costard.
Yeah, tail 39. Wow.
Impressive skiing.
It is. Now she definitely wants that top spot, I would say. That top seed.
Yeah.
If she gets more than 2, she'll have it, unless Regina comes back and beats that score that Manon produces.
Yeah, but, regardless, that's a huge confidence boost going into the finals because she knows going up against the likes of the other 3 women in the finals here, all capable of running, deep into that 39 and running that. It's a nice confidence boost to get through that pass, know that it's capable today, that you can do it, and then you guys got to do it one more time this afternoon.
So, good effort there from Manon Costard. Great skiing from her. As I'm sure all of you around the world tuning in will have noticed. Certainly in France right now it is 8:30 in the evening, just a little bit before. Those of you watching us from Tokyo in Japan, konnichiwa. Monday, 3:25 in the morning.
All right.
So here we go. Manon Costard. If she can get more than 2, she will improve her seeding. Boom. Round number 1 will not make it outside number 2. So she stays put, and she'll be second to last off the dock.
But definitely a big score there. And Tony, I liked what she did there. She wasn't trying to check up at 1 ball. She wasn't trying to, just get a 1 to get a score. She was turning 1 with the aggression that it's going to take to get over to 2 around 2 and then further in the 41. So I liked her strategy here. I know it's maybe not the exact result she wanted, but that's the kind of 1 ball, that start is what she's going to have to do to get a piece of 2 ball. And unfortunately, the boat got the best of her at the finish of that turn. But, now she knows how hard she can push it. Maybe she pushed it a little bit too hard there. She backs it up a little bit for the finals if she makes it back to that 41 off pass.
So, good effort there from Manon Costard. Really working that knee bend, and that number 1 just needed that ski to come round a little bit more. And she might have been off to the races. But there you go. There's Manon Costard, 560 pounds, 4-to-1 ratio against her weight of 139 pounds. Stand at 5'8" and has the 0 offset at Bravo 2. Straight down the middle.
I like it.
Look at that shot there.
That's the beauty with, in the last development of all this camera technology and webcasting ability to provide a shot like that. And, I remember back in the day we were trying to we bought a video camera and we were trying to make films and learn how to edit on a computer. And, we tried everything from strapping a thing to a RC plane to actually having Franz overlighting her and filming out the bottom of his ultralight and doing some drive-bys like that. Now, with the technology in these cameras, you get to see some angles that we've never seen before and then bring them live to you. Which is really cool and special, and props to you guys here to be able to make that happen.
Back in the day, I used to edit a B-roll using tapes.
Yeah, that's before my time, Tony. I had some VHS growing up, but
yeah.
I
mean, that's essentially what that is. I mean, you have one tape A, you have one tape B, and you basically splice it till you have tape C.
Well, I got the good spoil. I got some DVDs to play with.
All right.
Here we go.
Regina Jaques
donning the black bib, which means she's your defending champion from last year, rightfully so. She's the only women competitor there. So, but real quick, guys, I think we're going to head back down the dock, see what Wade's got going on for us.
Hey, Wade, what do you have?
Manon, big score. We've been waiting on that, huh? Same with you?
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's been, every tournament I felt like I was pretty close, and it was always missing a little few things around, mainly 135, I feel like, and 135 is doing a lot better. So I'm excited about that. It felt great. And it's always such a good feeling to run 39, especially on a pro event like this. And so yeah, I'm pumped. I'm gonna have to calm down a little bit before the finals.
Yeah, awesome. And a little tailwind as well, huh?
Yeah, it was. So it's much better than this morning. It's a nice little head tail, but yeah, I was definitely excited to run 39 tailwind.
Yeah, great to see that smile. We'll see you in the final soon. Back to you, Tony.
All right, why thank you there, Wade, and just checked in on Alan in the background there, listening in to what Manon had to say. And I tell you, I mean, it was only a matter of time before we saw Manon back in the 10.25 meters. She got 1. But here we go, Regina Jaques. To borrow a catchphrase from the great Bret Hart, the best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be.
Pretty sure you just got catchy movie titles pulled up on your laptop over there. That's how you keep coming up with all these. But yeah, no, Regina is. I can't remember a tournament in my time where she wasn't a favorite to really win the event. I mean, she's been absolutely unstoppable for the easily last decade. And granted, there are some new winners that slip in there. We saw Manon take the championship at the Worlds. But Regina is just consistently always throwing down huge scores, and probably my most fun water skier female to watch on the water, because she never, ever settles for going inside a buoy. Always lays it out there, always taking some big hits, and I'll be curious to see if she gets herself in some trouble later and takes some big pulls, what what that strength measure is on the rope tension.
Or she may be in line for a new vest, courtesy of Aid, because we're also offering for the best crashes in both women's and men's competition a brand new Aid vest to whoever produces the gnarliest.
I won a best crash one time, but it was at a barefoot tournament, so I don't know if that really counts.
All right, here we go. Regina Jaques, who's a compound pharmacist and has been for quite a while, working at her own practice, Emerald Coast Compounding Pharmacy. I'm sure that there are a few folks up there, probably not open on a Sunday, but a few folks that work with her checking in and seeing what Regina's pulling out. Oh, yes, and it's her mum's birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday, Miss Jaques up there. I know you guys are watching, and shout out to Renee, Regina's sister. I know.
You know that Jim's watching this. He's got this on every TV on the house.
Oh, absolutely. No, they're always a fun crew to go up there and hang out with, and maybe have a few margaritas. But shout out to you guys up there in the Panhandle, and hope everyone's doing well and the family's good. And hope that your headache goes away soon, Renee, because I know you had a big one last night. Shout out.
So, coming to you live from Claremont, Florida, and transmitting to places as far as Accra in Africa and Antananarivo in Madagascar. This is the 2020 Swiss Pro Slalom. All right, so.
All right.
What you got?
Back to the water.
Okay.
Let's focus on that.
There's Becky Lathrop at the helm. And this gate pull-out, I love that gate pull-out. It keeps the tension on the line, allows her to react to the turn. And this is 10.75 meters.
Big 3-ball there.
Oh, look at that. She was waiting on buoy 4. Likewise on 5. Wheelies up, and yay. Yeah, look at that. 10.75 meters.
Really nice, strong-looking pass there. And Regina's been known to kind of get that tip wheelie a little bit, out of both sides, but she's so good about getting that ski back down and getting that ski back on angle and then making up so much lost time from a turn, into the next buoy. And that's why she's consistently at the top of the podium all the time. She's a very powerful skier, locked and loaded. And you'll see here, 3-ball, tip rised up a little bit, was able to get the ski back down, and impressive skiing from Regina there.
All right, so. So, in the last 5 occasions that the world slalom record has been broken, Regina Jaques has been the one to break it. Her current world record is 4.5 on this next pass.
Yep, and, Regina has had more shots at 41 than probably a majority of the women's field combined has had. And so she's consistently taking cracks at this world record and is your current world record holder. Let's see what she do for her today. The wind's picking up a little bit here. Let's see, 41 off. Regina Jaques needs a good start to this pass.
Ooh, round number 1, nicely done. Round number 2, she's still there. Round number 3. Tries to make a play on 3, but I think 2 buoys.
I think that'll be unofficially another 2. I don't think that ski quite got around 3-ball there. We'll take a look here on the replay. But she's setting herself up. I mean, I think if that's the finals, I think she lays that all out in the line and really puts the body on the line to get a full piece of 3 there. But coming over to 2, got the big turn, but just lost the line, lost that angle over to 3. And yeah, just inside 3-ball there, like we suspected. I think in the finals, we see the ski get around that and really lay it all on the line for a quarter or a half more buoy.
Again, a little separated from the handle at 41 off into number 1 and skied for number 2. Tried to make a play on it, right foot forward. Certainly wouldn't blame her for doing that. So it is going to be 2. Let's give it up for Regina Jaques. It is a 2-buoy count at 10.25 meters. 556 pounds, 4.3 to 1 compared to a body weight of 130 pounds, standing at a shade under 5.5 feet, and skiing with B1, Bravo 1.
Thank you. Oh, that was.
So we're now going to go into the next round, aren't we? We are going to go. We're going to go into round 2, and it looks like we've got Wade Cox around about the dock area. So let's listen in.
We're here in the water, not on the dock, with Regina. So, Regina, I would say you pretty much spanked that 39, huh? Like you were waiting at ball 4 and 5, right? It was fun to watch.
Oh, it was a nice pass. It was like just a slight little tailwind from this morning. So I knew I ran it nice this morning in that tailwind. So it felt awesome out there. It was just perfect. And Becky's doing an awesome job on the wheel. So it's a good little combination out there.
And it's always nice, you know, as a competitor, Manon posted a score. So you're like, man, I got to bring my A game, right?
Yeah, no, it's always nice when we got everybody showing up and putting down scores and throwing down. Jamie's doing awesome, Manon's doing awesome. So yeah, you know, it was like, okay, there's a big score to go get, and yeah, it felt good to be able to go back to back and, you know, have that 39 down and get those good starts at 41.
We'll see you in the final soon. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Wade. Very hard at work around the dockside. Didn't even give Regina a chance to get out the water before that interview started, but fair play to him.